we're going to jump into this first story. And I kid you not, the little topic I have, the little summary line I have for it is Sydney Sweeney has a great rack. So I don't want to be too much of a perv here. And you guys have heard me talk about Sydney Sweeney before. I haven't seen her work. I've just seen some of the stuff that she's done outside of that, as far as like she owns her own production company and everything. That's pretty cool. She did Saturday Night Live and was able to laugh at herself. She seems like a pretty down to earth chick, but I'm not going to be one of those ones again. I'll say this, I'm not going to ogle over this, this chick, but I'm going to point out her looks in this episode for sure, because they've been called into question, and it's very odd by whom and why, and I don't know. I can't make sense of it. But we're going to look at a couple of things. Let's see. Like I said, I've covered her stories before. I know she's an it girl, but I hadn't seen anything. Immaculate. I did do the trailer review for her movie Immaculate, and I'm probably going to see that. Probably check it out. It looks up my alley with the horror and everything. And again, I don't know. She may be the greatest actress that ever lived. She may not be able to act worth a squat. We'll get into some of that in just a little bit. But again, not judging her at all on any of that. But she is a beautiful girl, and she's apparently a very successful actress. I know she's been in several things. Not that those things have always been successful themselves. Looking at you, Madam Webb. But she's being attacked, and we saw that a little bit from Saturday Night Live, and we're seeing it again now, and unusual suspects on this one. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Sydney Sweeney, here's a quick intro. Yeah, that's her. Promise I'm not trying to be a perv. Trying not to be a perv. Yeah, that's Sydney Sweeney, and I am justified in my comment of the great rack, I do believe. That being said, I did not come up with that just out of the blue or to be a perv. It's actually the topic of conversation that came up recently, and she's got to poke fun of herself, poke fun at the conversation. We're going to look at an article real quick. I think we got two articles we're going to look at. This first one comes from People. Says Sydney Sweeney jokes that she's sorry for having great boobs during Mexico vacation. The Euphoria actress poked fun at her appearance in an Instagram post while enjoying a getaway with friends. Nothing wrong with that. Let's just read a little bit here, and here's some of the pictures here. And to be fair and be honest, sorry for having great tits. That's what it said. People may find it offensive, but that's what it was. Again, there's a point to all this. It's not just me being a perv or, putting some eye candy up there for the male audience, even though, eat it up, boys. Moving on. Sydney Sweeney is shrugging off Hollywood producer Carol Baum's comments about her appearance. On Sunday, April 21st, Euphoria actress 26 shared some pictures and videos from her getaway to Mexico on Instagram, including one shot of herself wearing a gray sweater with words, "Sorry for having great tits," written on it. Another shot showed Sweeney posing with her dog Tank on a boat while wearing a bikini top and tracksuit bottoms, with a further clip showing her smiling and dancing on the beach in front of a mariachi band at sunset. All right, so there's more to this article. Remember, anytime I bring up an article, stories, headlines, anything like that, all the links are always going to be down in the description below. So you can read this entire article. It goes on. But I'm going to jump to this other one because it kind of picks up the story a little bit better on this next one, which comes from Today. And it says, Sydney Sweeney's rep responds to producer's shameful criticism of her. How sad. All right, so we already mentioned that there was some criticism about her appearance, which again is what's prompting all of this perversion of the story. But it says, longtime Hollywood producer Carol Baum said Anyone But You was unwatchable and ripped into Sweeney's appearance and acting. That's a good looking woman there. Anyways, here we go. Veteran Hollywood producer Carol Baum said Sydney Sweeney is not pretty and can't act in a recent harsh critique of the young Hollywood star, which the Anyone But You actors team has called sad and shameful in response. Baum, an Oscar-winning producer of films including Father of the Bride and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, didn't hold back when speaking about Sweeney during a recent chat with New York Times film critic Janet Maslin in Pleasantville, New York. There's an actress who everybody loves now, Sydney Sweeney. I don't get Sydney Sweeney, Baum said, according to the Daily Mail. I was watching on the plane Sydney Sweeney's movie Anyone But You because I wanted to watch it. I wanted to know who she is and why everybody's talking about her. I watched this unwatchable movie. Sorry to people who love this romantic comedy where they hate each other. This is a clip from that. Glenn Powell's in a movie coming up called Hitman. Just kind of sidetracked here. I just did a trailer review on it. It may have come out by now. I can't remember, or it's supposed to come out, but it looks pretty good. Glenn Powell, I only know him from the Top Gun sequel. That was 20, 30 years in the making or whatever. But I like him. He seemed to be pretty good. And I'm going to see that Hitman movie when it comes out on Netflix, I believe. But back to Sydney Sweeney, still seeing nothing with her in it. And she may be absolutely right. This may be just a dreadful movie. I have no idea. But I think it was profitable, if I'm not mistaken. I probably should have looked that up. Let's see. Baum then referenced the class she teaches as an adjunct professor at the University of Southern California. I said in my class, explain this girl to me. She's not pretty. She can't act. Why is she so hot? Nobody had an answer, she said. Maslin, a longtime New York Times critic, confirmed Baum's comments, which she said occurred after screening the 1988 film Dead Ringers, which Baum produced. She also chimed in with her unfavorable opinion of Anyone But You in an April 16th post on X. This is her. We'll get back to that. It is unwatchable, Maslin wrote. Carol Baum said this after we screened Dead Ringers at the Jacob Burns Film Center, and she mentioned having seen Anyone But You on a plane. Sweeney, 26, co-starred with Glenn Powell in Anyone But You, a romantic comedy that became a box office hit early this year with a gross of more than $200 million worldwide. I was thinking it was a success. Which, look, $200 million, I guess, depending on the budget, that may be amazing. Or even if it's profitable, that's better than a lot of the Disney stuff that's rolling out there, or Paramount or MGM. I mean, they're just not. No one's firing on all cylinders like they used to. So if it made any money, it was a hit, as far as I'm concerned. Continuing on, it says a representative for Sweeney gave a statement to Today in response to Baum's comments. How sad that a woman in the position to share her expertise and experience chooses instead to attack another woman. If that's what she learned in her decades in the industry and feels it's appropriate to teach to her students, that's shameful. To unjustly disparage a fellow female producer speaks volumes about Miss Baum's character. Today.com reached out to Baum, but has not heard back. Teddy Schwartzman, a producer who worked with Sweeney on the horror movie Immaculate that was released in March, also came to her defense. And we'll stop right after this, but it says, as a producer of Immaculate, I'll enlighten Miss Baum that two-time Emmy nominee Sydney Sweeney is not only one of the most talented actresses I've worked with, but also incredibly smart, kind, and humble. I'm not sure why someone who claims to still be a producer would make such... I didn't want to go there. I did not want to go there. Well, I'm already here. We're going to do this. I'm already here. I'm not sure why someone who claims to still be a producer would make such terribly ugly comments, but I can assure you, or I can assure everyone, that Sydney is at least beautiful on the inside, and of course, a badass scream queen. And people backing them up and everything like that. So that's great. So let's see. I think that was it through there. Cool. Just as a reminder again, who we're talking about. This is Carol Baum, the woman that is criticizing and critiquing Sydney Sweeney's appearance and acting abilities. And this is the one she's attacking and saying it's not good looking or beautiful or hot or whatever.
Kiss my black ass.
So like I said, look, she may be spot on about the acting. Again, I don't know. I can't say anything. I mean, being Emmy nominated and other people speaking up on our behalf, that kind of paints a different picture. But again, me personally, I haven't seen her stuff, so I don't know. She could be a terrible actress, but she attacked her acting ability, her appearance, and just her. It seems like her character a little bit in the way she went about it, which is extremely dirty and low cut. So to say Sweeney isn't pretty just makes it sound like one woman jealous of another woman's looks and appeal to the opposite sex. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's just how some women are. I'm just saying. I even heard that from a woman the other day talking about somebody. It is what it is, right? Here's what I do know about Sydney Sweeney, and some of this I already said. She is indeed attractive, no doubt about that. She's comfortable exploring and utilizing her looks and her roles. She has her own production company that has already produced, successful films. And from other stories I've heard, she clearly has a close relationship and love for her family, which makes her grounded, makes her a decent human being, is what it sounds like. Like the reps from Sweeney's team said, it's sad that a woman in her position chooses to attack and unjustly disparage another woman in the industry.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out this clip from the Morning Mayhem. Remember, this is just a portion of the full show that comes out every Friday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. If you hadn't already, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the full shows or these tasty little nuggets.